You know that feeling, right? You're clicking next page on like a search result, or you're scrolling through your social feed, maybe browsing an online store. We all do it constantly, dozens of times a day, probably without even thinking about it. But underneath that, that familiar surface, there's actually some pretty critical engineering going on. It directly impacts performance, how things scale, even the cost of the apps we use. So today we're doing a deep dive into two really fundamental techniques that make our digital lives, well, not just bearable, but actually efficient: pagination and sorting. Our mission here is to unpack how they work, why they're so critical, both for you as a user and for the apps themselves, and why they've become even more important now here in 2025. We'll be drawing on insights from a really solid beginner's guide on this, but we're aiming to push a bit beyond just the basics. Okay, so let's get into it. When we talk about managing and presenting, huge amounts of data, we hear these terms, pagination and sorting. For those maybe already familiar, what's really going on under the hood technically?
Right. So pagination, at its heart, it's really about breaking down large sets of data into smaller, more manageable pieces, chunks, basically. We call them pages. It's fundamentally about limiting how much data gets sent over the network and has to be displayed all at once. Think of it less like flipping through a physical book, maybe more like a server being smart and sending you just, say, one chapter at a time. It's optimized for network efficiency, for rendering on your device. Technically, this often means, SQL queries using things like limit and offset, or sometimes more advanced stuff like cursor-based methods, especially for dynamic feeds.
Okay, that makes sense. Like on an e-commerce site or search results, you see maybe 20 items per page and you click next or page 2 for the next set. It seems simple on the surface, but I guess the choice of how many items or even how those batches are fetched, that must have some pretty big implications, right?
Oh, absolutely. Huge implications. And then you've got sorting. Sorting is arranging that data in a specific logical order. It's based on criteria someone chooses. It's really about putting structure onto what might otherwise be just a jumble of information. So things like sorting products by price, low to high, or maybe news articles by most recent, or search results by relevance. The whole point is to get the most important stuff to you, the user, right away. And a subtle but important detail here is something called sort stability. That just means if two items have the same sort value, like the same price, their original order relative to each other is kept.
Okay. So it's not just about making things look neat. It's about delivering relevance, context, and managing that sheer volume before it even hits your screen.
Exactly. And they almost always work together, pagination and sorting. When you combine them, what happens is the application takes this huge data set, maybe 1 million products, and first, it applies whatever sorting the user asked for. Price, date, whatever. Then, after it's sorted, that ordered data is split up into those pages. So when you click page 2, you're getting the next chunk of items that have already been sorted correctly. Now, a lot of this complexity, it's often hidden away by modern frameworks. Like in Java, you might use Spring Data JPA. Developers can add really sophisticated pagination and sorting just by passing a simple pageable object. The framework then figures out the complex SQL, the limit, offset, order by stuff all behind the scenes.
Right. It handles the heavy lifting.
Yeah, it reduces errors and saves a ton of coding time.
So, okay, what does this really mean for us as users? And maybe more crucially, for the systems running these apps? Why are these techniques not just nice additions, but actually vital?
Well, their necessity is, it's pretty profound.
Yeah.
They tackle some really fundamental challenges in software today. First off, user experience. It's massively improved. Imagine trying to look at thousands of items all at once on a screen. It's not just overwhelming. It would grind your device to a halt. Pagination avoids that. It gives you small, digestible bits. It prevents clutter, allows for smooth loading, and sorting. That lets you, the user, zero in on what you actually care about, finding the cheapest flight, the newest post, the highest rated restaurant, cutting through the noise.
Makes sense. Less waiting, less frustration.
Exactly. And secondly, and this is huge for developers and businesses, they drastically boost performance and scalability. Trying to load, say, an entire database table into memory, both on the server and on your phone or computer, that's incredibly inefficient. It costs money, it leads to timeouts, app crashes. Pagination slashes the amount of data flying across the network and being processed. Apps get faster, more responsive. This is especially true on mobile, where resources are tighter.
And I guess that saves money too, right? On cloud costs.
Directly. Less processing, less data transfer, lower bills. And scalability as apps grow, handling millions of records, pagination, and sorting are what make it possible to stay usable and efficient. Think about it. Without sorting, finding anything specific in a giant, unordered list, it'd be like digging through a mountain of unsorted mail. Sorting brings order to that chaos.
So it's not just aesthetics, it's fundamental system, health, stability, even economics.
Precisely. These aren't just features. They solve deep problems. Before they were standard practice, interfaces were a mess. Performance was terrible. Long load times were common. Servers would just buckle under the load of trying to send giant blobs of data. And scaling, forget about it. As apps got bigger, handling data without these structured methods was basically impossible. So pagination tackles the latency, the memory issues, by sending only what's needed right now. Sorting solves the relevance problem, putting the important stuff front and center, matching what the user actually wants.
Okay, this is where I think it gets really interesting. If they solved so many problems back then, why are we saying they're even more critical now in 2025 in this, data everywhere world?
Yeah, that's a great question. There are several key drivers. The biggest one, just the sheer unbelievable explosion of data. We're not talking megabytes or gigabytes anymore. We're talking petabytes. Think about a huge online retailer managing hundreds of millions of products, or platforms like X dealing with billions, literally billions of posts every single day.
Wow. Yeah, the scale is hard to grasp.
Right, so pagination isn't just nice anymore, it's absolutely essential for the system to even function. It keeps load times sane by only dealing with a tiny fraction of the total data at once. And sorting becomes the only way for users to navigate that ocean, to find that specific item or post they're looking for.
Okay, data explosion, that's huge. What else?
Well, think about mobile and cloud-based apps everywhere. Phones have limits, right? Limited processing power, sometimes flaky network connections. Pagination is key to keeping things feeling fast on mobile by keeping those data packets small. Sorting helps prioritize what little screen space you have, showing the most important stuff first. And in the cloud, where you pay for what you use, efficient pagination directly cuts down on costs, less data transfer, less compute time. It just makes economic sense.
And it ties into newer architectures, too.
Definitely. Things like microservices and big data. Lots of modern apps are built as a collection of smaller, independent services. Pagination and sorting become part of the contract, the API, between these services. How does the search service give results to the main app? Through paginated, sorted lists. It's also vital for big data tools like analytics dashboards. Users need to sort and page through massive data sets to find trends, to make sense of it all in real time. So if you connect the dots, these aren't just minor features. They are truly foundational pillars of modern, scalable, resilient digital systems.
That really paints a clear picture. And we see it everywhere, even if we don't actively think about it, like Amazon, right? They carefully paginate, usually showing, 20 or 30 products per page? And they give you tons of sorting options. Price, review score, newest arrivals.
Exactly. Or think about social media. X is a prime example. It uses that infinite scroll, which is really just continuous pagination happening behind the scenes. It loads posts gradually as you scroll, and it uses complex sorting to decide whether you see the For You feed or just the latest stuff chronologically. Imagine if it tried to load all posts ever. Your phone would melt.
Right. Or even Google search. It's almost iconic, right? 10 blue links per page. They paginate strictly, usually 10 results. And the sorting by relevance is so good, most of us rarely need page 2. And there's probably a whole science behind why 10 results, balancing load, ads, usability.
No doubt.
And it's not just the giants. Even a small startup, maybe building a niche job website, they'll use pagination, maybe 15 listings per page, and sorting, like newest jobs first or by salary. It's fundamental to making it useful.
It really is the bedrock of a good digital experience.
So for people listening who are deep in tech already, maybe developers, architects, what does really understanding these concepts mean? It's got to be more than just knowing how to use a basic library function, right?
Oh, absolutely. This is where it moves from just using the tools to truly mastering them. For experienced folks, it's about understanding the deep performance trade-offs. For instance, knowing when to use offset-based pagination, that limit offset style, versus when you need cursor-based pagination. Cursor-based is often better for real-time data that changes constantly, or to avoid performance hits when you ask for, like, page 50,000 in a huge table. Simple offsets can get really slow deep into a data set.
Okay, so choosing the right strategy depending on the data and the use case.
Precisely. And then there are the architectural implications. How do you design your APIs? How do you make sure sorting works consistently if your data is spread across different databases or microservices? What about caching? How does pagination affect your caching strategy? It's moving beyond just using the framework to understanding how it works. And critically, when its standard way of doing things might not be the best fit for your specific problem.
So digging deeper into the why and how, not just the what.
Exactly. And thirdly, it's about optimization and debugging. You will run into situations where a simple sort or pagination request suddenly becomes a bottleneck. So understanding things like database indexing, how to read query execution plans, how to optimize the data payload size, that becomes crucial. And finally, keeping an eye on the evolving landscape. What about newer things like GraphQL and its specific ways of handling pagination? Or how do event-driven systems change how you approach getting ordered, chunked data? It's about being ready to pick the right pattern for the job.
Got it. So for anyone serious about building high-performance scalable applications, the takeaway is clear. Mastering pagination and sorting isn't just about writing cleaner code. It's really about architecting systems that are efficient, user-friendly, and can actually handle the insane amount of data we're dealing with today and, well, certainly tomorrow.
Couldn't have said it better.
Okay, so we've done this deep dive into pagination and sorting. We've seen they are just optional extras. They're absolutely essential. They manage huge data sets, make apps fast, usable, scalable. They solve those core problems: slow performance, cluttered screens, difficulty finding what you need. And now, in 2025, with big data, mobile everything, complex architectures, their importance is just amplified. Foundational stuff. So here's a thought to leave you with. Now that you've heard about the depth behind how these work, just think about how many times today you've probably benefited from them without even realizing it. Your news feed this morning, that online shop you browse, maybe even this platform you're listening on. And maybe think about the flip side. What happens when these systems don't work well? What other simple concepts are quietly running the complex digital world around us? And what are the ripples when they start to break down?